Two guys in their early 50s with one dream: to achieve middle-aged sporting glory. This is the Missing Links Golf Show. Well, this is unexpected, Andy Walker.
I wasn't expecting to be sitting down recording after your post the other day, flying over my old stomping ground. I mean, what a great photo that was.
Pretty cool, wasn't it? I was quite happy with that when I managed to snap that one out of the window of the Qantas Link -8 twin propeller tin can. So that was a bit of fun. But I did get back home just a little bit earlier than expected, and that gives us the opportunity for a quick catch-up, Andy Walker. So why not put the microphones on and share it with the pilgrims?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things that's going on. I know that you've got a bit of prep to do for this weekend, and going to put our recommendations from last week into good use. And I do know we got a bit of feedback from last week's episode.
We did,
which I'm very interested. You haven't shared what that
no, I haven't
what that is as yet, so I haven't been able to go back and listen and potentially prepare a response. But let's just fly by the seat of our pants. See how we go.
Well, I think it's a good place to start. And I want to point you to our previous episode, which was how to beat the weather. And you may recall, Andy Walker, that we spent some time talking about strategies to keep our balls warm on particularly cold days.
Correct.
That did pique the interest of some of the pilgrims.
Right.
And in particular, it's good to know that we are being listened to at the highest levels of the game, because we did get a message from friend of the show, Peter, who also happens to act as a rules official for Golf New South Wales in official tournaments.
Okay.
So definitely he knows the ins and outs of the rules. And he listened to that segment and he sent us a message and he said, "Hey, Steve and Andy, really enjoyed your latest episode," in brackets, "wasn't sure whether I would at first," and the kind of a winking emoji. It's a bit to unpack in that statement, but anyway. He then goes on to say, "I had a good snigger at the discussion on ball warmers, but," he says, "but I should draw your attention to Rule 4.2a, Section 2. I mean, obviously,
Well, it's what I was reading last night, so I should actually know what this is about.
Yeah, he says
short-term memory loss.
He says this rule prohibits a player making a stroke at a ball that has been deliberately heated, and the penalty is disqualification.
But that isn't that artificially heated. Like if you like have a battery powered, something in your bag to artificially.
Yeah, because I don't know if you recall the specific part of the conversation that we had where we were talking about the hand warmers, using the, the little guys that you put in your pocket and keep your hands warm. And I had made the suggestion of popping one of those into the ball pouch in your bag. And according to Pete, that would substitute deliberately heating your balls, and would potentially, depending on how strict the rules official is, and I get every indication from this message that we've received pretty strict, that could result in disqualification. And he says, he goes on to say, "So I suggest that the pilgrims be warned not to look for ball warmers, even if they're not doing so on their work computers." Nice work there, Peter. Okay. And he shares a screenshot of the rule, and I'll read you the rule word for word. And it does say, in fact, A player must not make a stroke at a ball whose performance characteristics have been deliberately altered, such as by scuffing or heating the ball, or by applying any substance other than in cleaning it.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
But I would say that there's a difference between artificially heating a ball and potentially your hand warmer may fit into that category, and maintaining the temperature of a
you would
ball.
be correct.
Now, if you're in a vehicle, like driving to the course and it's a cold day and all the rest, and you put, and I know you can buy like ball pouches that, potentially, may hold the temperature of the ball and maintain the temperature of the ball, or even have it in your pocket where it maintains the temperature of the ball. That's not heating the ball as such. It's maintaining the temperature of the ball. And I don't know, I'd have to go back and listen to the exact wording of what we used, but certainly from my perspective and from our conversation, I certainly wasn't thinking we were talking about artificially warming the ball, as in heating the ball up. It was the conversation I felt, and again, if it came across differently, then that's our error. But it was more around maintaining the temperature of the ball rather than heating it up, so to speak.
It's a fine line. So he does say that it's fine to keep balls in a separate bag that has an insulating effect. So
okay, well, there you go. So your little pouch is fine.
That's the maintaining the temperature.
Yeah.
It is the deliberate application of heat that is the problem.
Yeah.
And I would suggest the placing of a hand warmer in amongst the balls would run the risk of, disqualification. So Pilgrims, keep your balls at body temperature is fine. You can put them in your pocket. You just can't heat them up.
Yeah. So keep your golf balls out of your hand warmers, but any other sort of balls is fine.
I guess so. Interesting that the rule also specifically says you're not allowed to scuff the ball. So I think that's probably worth noting because
was it deliberately scuffed though? I mean,
deliberately
like, for instance,
scuffed.
If you're hitting a stroke,
and the ball's hit a cart path or something like that.
Yeah,
no, but the reason that I raise this is because Andy Walker tomorrow is day one of the first Ashes test. So what you're not allowed to do is to take sandpaper out onto the course and deliberately scuff the ball up. And I would say it's probably fair to assume that that's a pretty good rule of thumb to apply in any sport.
Yeah. But in all fairness, that is to make the ball swing, right?
Not what you're looking for on a golf course.
I don't think that's what you're trying to do on a golf course. My thought, you're trying to take the spin off the ball so it doesn't swing.
Look,
so
I don't know why you would do it anyway. I really don't.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to. So if you're thinking about it, you're not allowed to.
Don't. Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. And thanks, Pete. Appreciate your feedback. And he's correct in that you're not allowed to heat your balls up.
No, you're not,
so to speak. But you're allowed to maintain the temperature of your golf balls.
And you're not allowed to rub sandpaper on your balls. And quite frankly, anyone that even thinks of doing so is a braver man than I am. So let's move on. Andy Walker, some exciting news. News. This weekend, I am playing tournament golf.
Excellent. Okay, good one. Are you travelling far, or are you?
I will
down
be.
the road, or?
I will be playing in the prestigious Bathurst Open at
nice.
Bathurst Golf Club. And not just any old club competition. This is actually a registered Varden event on the New South Wales Varden Trophy circuit. So
is this? No, it's not your first Varden event because you also played in the Hahn Open,
correct,
a couple of times.
Correct, and the Macquarie Cup was also a Varden event.
Oh yes, yeah, it was too.
So there have been a few. So that's exciting. So have a bit of a crack at some decent golf. well, I hope there's some decent golf, so it'll be a decent tournament. But what is interesting about this? So, a couple of things. Firstly, I rang up and got myself in the field, and I was the final entry into the field.
Okay.
That made it a full field. How about that? So that was interesting. What's also exciting is after last week's episode where we had all sorts of conversations about weather, the forecast for Saturday, and I have a 7:08 tee time.
Hopefully it's warmer than the last time you played Bathurst.
Well, it will be, but
marginally.
The temperature's not so much the issue, so we're not going to be dicing with ball warmers on this one. But the forecast is a maximum of 24 degrees with between 2 and 20 millimetres of rain.
Oh, that is bad.
That's bad.
I was going to say, what's wrong with 24 degrees?
That is bad.
Yeah. And especially if it's up at the 20 mil.
20 mil's a lot of rain.
Have fun with that.
That's pretty much an inch in the imperial measuring system. That is a lot of rain. The only thing that makes me a little bit more positive about it is that it says, in the detail, it says cloudy, very high chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon and evening. So my 7:08 tee time in the morning might keep me out of the majority of the danger. Sunday's round, then there's a maximum of 29 with up to 7 millimetres of rain. And it says high chance of showers, a thunderstorm likely.
Yeah. No, you don't want to be in a thunderstorm. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But 7 mils, I mean, it depends on, I guess, when the 7 mils is coming. I mean, if the 7 mils is going to be in the thunderstorm, then, you're not going to be on the golf course anyway.
Correct.
It's mainly Saturday I'd be concerned about. If it's 20 mils and it's, in the morning and no thunderstorm, then that's going to be challenging.
Yeah. So what I did, because I think the theme of this conversation is two points. One is preparation and one is expectation. Okay, so in terms of preparation, once I saw the forecast at the start of the week, I jumped on the Golf Box website, and Andy Walker got myself a new pair of these bad boys.
Nice.
Tailor-made.
The rain control
gloves. Which says that they have a 40% stronger hold in wet conditions.
Nice.
40% greater than nothing is still nothing, but hopefully that's 40% greater than something. It says rain control gives every golfer the grip, comfort, and feel to swing with confidence, even in the wettest conditions. So we'll be putting these bad boys to the test come the weekend, I have no doubt. So that is good. I've found the wet weather gear, the plastic pants, the plastic jacket. We'll be taking that one along as well. And fingers crossed, conditions are not too bad. But I think with all of that in mind, expectations need to be set accordingly. Andy Walker.
So with the gloves and the 2-pack, you're going to be like go all Aaron Rye on us.
I am going Aaron Rye. Yeah. Yeah.
Find your inner Aaron Rye.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever say that on this podcast, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. And the other thing that's interesting, there's a couple of things that have got me slightly concerned. One is that once you put the rain gloves on, you kind of don't want to take them off.
No.
And so that means that I'll probably be putting with the double glove as well.
That'll be interesting.
I generally don't wear a glove to putt because I'm a normal human. And anyway, so that'll be fun. The other thing which is interesting is these days.
I wonder what that'll do to your feel though. Like,
well, this is the concern, right? Like, so I might have to do a little bit of practice in the living room.
I was going to say, have you got out there and?
No, I haven't. But
give it a crack and see how it's gone.
I haven't. I have used the double glove in the high performance center this afternoon just to see how that feels. And actually, was pretty
Goes
good.
all right.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quite thin. They don't feel too different to a normal golf glove. It's
Yeah,
just that
right.
they've got that suede finish instead of
Yeah.
the leather finish. Because you remember the ones that we used on the Hunter Valley? They were like,
Well, I've still got one in my bag.
yeah, and
I've used that on different occasions. Still, I mean, I've only got the one. It's only like my left-handed glove, but they were really thick. Like they were like a leather glove, weren't they?
They were like a motorbike glove almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, wearing two of them would have been a nightmare. And the other ones that I had as well, I don't know if you remember those ones. They were like wetsuit gloves,
Right.
like neoprene.
Excellent.
Kept your hands warm, sure, but you had the all the feel of a baby elephant. So this will be interesting. I'm really interested to see how they go because, like I say, they are no thicker than your normal golf glove.
Yep.
They just got that suede finish and a little bit of, what would you call it? Probably like the rubber embossed on the palm, which I'm assuming will be what gives the grip in the wet. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. Do you have an umbrella holder?
On the
on your golf buggy?
On the trolley, yeah, I do.
Yeah. I was going to say that's as I said last week. That's a prerequisite for me in the rain now to be able to stick your umbrella on your buggy and just have it there and be able to hang your towel up and potentially if you want to take your gloves off, you can put them on the frame of the umbrella. I mean that's gold.
Yeah, for sure. I mean the other thing which is going to be tricky is that these days scoring's moved away from the old scorecard, which is not a bad thing in the rain because the scorecard gets very soggy and that can be a problem.
It does.
But scoring on the phone, well, I'm assuming you're going to have to take the glove off to do that anyway, aren't you? Because
correct,
that could be a bit tricky. So
yeah.
Anyhow, there's a bit of stuff to work through there. We'll see how we go. I'm hoping to get the better end of the weather, but I'm also hoping that I am A, prepared, and B, I'm going to listen to last week's episode again on the drive to the golf course just to make sure that I've really got all of that, how to deal with the weather, fresh in my mind. Because I feel like it's one of those things that you are way better off being prepared for. And if it doesn't end up being that bad, it's not a big deal. But if you go in hoping for the best and preparing for the best, but you end up with the worst, well, that's a bad outcome.
Yep. And look, I think that, listening to that part on the getting the water in between the ball and your golf club, I mean, even if you get the low end of the rain, there's still going to be dew around. There's still going to be, a bit of water in between the golf ball and the golf club. So I think that that's something to really focus on to be able to really understand what dynamic is going to happen with the golf ball and the golf club with the water there.
Absolutely. The biggest one and the thing that I really want to focus on is the mental game, Andy Walker. And I want to channel that quote that you talked about. I think we attributed it to Shane Lowry around playing in bad conditions. I don't enjoy it, but I know that I can do it. And I also know that it's going to knock out half the field. So whilst I don't know necessarily that I can play that well in those conditions, what I can control is mentally how I stay in the round the whole time and don't throw the towel in, because there is absolutely no doubt that with 20 mils of rain, there are some people that are going to throw the towel in and eject out of the round. So I think that probably for me is the biggest one. Incidentally, I did a bit of research on that quote. Shane Lowry did say it, we were right, but the person who he was plagiarising just a little bit, he tweaked it a bit. The person that originally was attributed to that quote was the one and only Jack Nicklaus.
All right. Okay. There you
go. So there you go.
Hadn't heard that from the greatest golfer of all time, but
no surprise.
Good one, Jack. I'm not surprised because he, one of the, well, not one of the greats, the greatest is from my perspective. But I'm not surprised that he had that perspective.
He sure did. So Pilgrims, that's the deal. It's all on this weekend. If you're around the Bathurst area, pop down, bring an umbrella, maybe bring me a spare towel or something. And we will recap next week all of the action from the Bathurst Open and let you know how we went. So that's probably it from me, Andy
Hmm.
Walker. But
Well, good luck, mate. I mean,
thank
it's
you.
really exciting that you're getting back into tournament golf again, and you've got one last crack before the end of the year. And
Yeah,
yeah,
it is.
hope it goes well. And
Yeah,
I think this one's going to be one of those benchmark events where you're gonna it's going to be a learning experience, but I think you're going to be able to benchmark yourself on, okay, well, if it's adverse weather conditions, this is my baseline, and this is sort of what I want to work from.
yeah, I think so. I mean, my goal on this one, which is interesting, it's not so much about the score or the result. It's actually about what I want to get out of this is being competitive through
Mm.
adverse weather. Like really,
Yep.
it's the mental side, sticking to the process, sticking to the pre-shot routine, sticking to the mental routine of picking a target, visualizing the shot, committing to the shot, executing, reviewing, doing all those things, not just getting lazy and rushing and getting frustrated and angry and things that can happen in bad weather. Because one of the points we talked about last week is that the impact of weather, quite often it's not on your specifically on your game, as in your swing and your ball flight, but it's actually on how you react to it and how resilient you can stay in it. So
Yep.
that is my focus. That is where I'm going to set my expectations for the
Mm.
round.
Mm. Okay. Good.
So
Well, good luck.
thank you very much, and I'll let you know next week
Mm.
how we went. Um, but your situation, Andy Walker, what's going on? What have you been up to?
Yeah, look, well, I thought I'd give a bit of a health update because, as the Pilgrims know, I've had a few challenges a couple of months back and a few surprises. And I think the last update that I gave was prior to seeing the cardiologist
True.
that I'd booked into. Now that was sort of back on the 30th of September, so just after I came back from Malaysia. So I attended the clinic. They did an ECG and which was fine. They also did an ultrasound of my carotid arteries,
Mm.
and they did find a small amount of plaque. And they use this your carotid arteries as a bit of a proxy for potential plaque in the arteries of your heart. Now, in your carotid arteries, of course, they're relatively large. It's not too much of a drama. So, he said, don't be concerned because, you're not in any sort of immediate sort of danger. But, what he wanted me to do and what I've since done is to have a CT cardioangiogram, so a
Mm.
CTCA scan. And what that is, it's basically, see, the machine's sort of like an MRI. Right, it's sort of a big cylinder that they put you in. They throw a catheter in your arm and they pump you full of I think it's iodine. It's like that.
Mm.
It's the liquid that where like they pick up. The machine can pick up, and it's a blue color and it sort of goes through all your
That would feel
arteries and
great, wouldn't it?
yeah, and they don't do it until the end. So the test itself was only probably maybe 15, 20 minutes. And it's the last sort of 30 seconds that they, because you're all hooked up and
Mm.
where they sort of put it through. And you actually sort of feel a flush when it goes through. So it was a little bit of a weird feeling. The nurse did say to me, now, just a word of warning, it does actually feel like you're going to wee yourself, but you're not.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, thank you. That's good to know. And sort of it sort of did, but yeah, it was just a bit of a weird feeling. It's not something I really hope I ever have to do again, but yeah, it was it was good to sort of get this process over and done with. And yeah, the results of the CTA scan were actually quite positive. So I had zero calcium in the arteries around my heart. And apparently 51% of people my age have a zero calcium reading, which
Okay.
obviously then means 49% have some sort of calcium buildup
Mm.
through their arteries. So I'm sort of in that low low risk bracket. And he said, my heart attack risk over the next 10 years is less than 3%. And he said that's a pretty low risk. So he's pretty positive, and he doesn't want to see me for another 18 months, which is good. He did put me, and I'm still taking the low dose statin, so a 5 milligram dose of statins. And the reason why he wants me to do that, I mean, that lowers your cholesterol. The whole sort of point of statins is to lower your cholesterol. And potentially, and what he's saying is that with the lifestyle changes that I've made, it could reduce and reverse the buildup of plaque in my carotid arteries. And he said, if that happens, he said, we'll do another ultrasound in sort of 18 months' time. If it's sort of flushed out the plaque that's in your carotid arteries, then you can go off the statins, and yeah, you can maintaining a healthy lifestyle, continue on with obviously regular checkups. So what he wants, he wants my low LDL. He wants me to maintain a low LDL cholesterol, sort of in the 1.5 to 1.8 range. So at the moment it's over 3, a little bit over 3. So it's sort of double what it needs to be. But he said I mean, I've lost 12 kilos, so I've lost a reasonable amount of weight. Got about another 6 kilos to go. I'd like to get down to about that 80 kilo mark, and that's sort of around my ideal fitness. So I've been pretty focused on health,
it's amazing.
Pretty focused on nutrition, pretty focused on fitness, working out sort of 3 to 4 times a week, and really sort of eating well, which has had a massive impact on how I feel. And yeah, so he wants me to stay on the statins, the low dose statins, and just see my regular GP. So the integrative medicine, functional medicine GP that I saw back in August, wants me to keep seeing her and maintain for the next sort of 12 to 18 months, the direction that I've gone in, and just see where things are at in 18 months. So sort of good result after, I guess, from where we were in July and the first part of August, where I had very, very high cholesterol. And look, the genetic lipoprotein little a, that's never going to change. That's always going to be a risk factor, which is why I've got to be really careful with diet and health and nutrition, and maintain a low cholesterol as much as I can through lifestyle, and potentially, and there may come a time where I'll have to go back onto statins. I mean, my old man, he's been on statins for the last sort of 10 to 15 years, and he's sort of maintained his heart health. He's also got his cardiologist that looks after him as well. So it is a hereditary genetic thing. Fortunately, and what the cardiologist said is that I'm not at risk now. My risk profile is really, really low, but it's something that I'm always going to have to be careful of, and always going to have to watch and maintain. So I'm sort of a bit relieved.
I can imagine.
As we sort of talked about, with especially my blood glucose level, which was quite high, that's come down pretty dramatically. And then with the weight loss and the lower cholesterol, because where I was, as the integrative medicine doctor said I was a ticking time bomb, and that scared the bejesus out of me.
Well, it got you into action, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. So it's been from where I was, I guess, to where I am now. What is it? Sort of 3-4 months later, it's a good result, and probably as good a result as what I can expect. I'm going to have another round of blood tests next month, see how I go with the blood test. Hopefully my cholesterol would have dropped a little bit further, and 2026 should look pretty good.
Yeah, well done.
What's also been interesting and what's helped is the arthritis in my wrists, in the inflammation and the arthritis. I barely feel it now when I'm playing and when I'm out in the high performance center. I'm now sort of, be out there 3 or 4 times a week, hitting balls and not holding back at all. And I feel occasionally I feel it, but yeah, it's minimal in comparison to where I was earlier in the year. So sort of from where that was to where I'm now is chalk and cheese.
So do you think you might start playing a bit of golf again?
Well, I've booked into comp at my local club next week. So next Tuesday I'll be having a comp round to sneak around in before the end of November. So I'll have a comp round there. And then we'll see what happens in December. I mean, it's a wind down to Christmas, and hopefully I might be able to start playing a little bit of golf again, regular golf again through that time. And yeah, look out 2026.
Well, that is exciting. We might have a fair bit of golf to talk about next week then.
Yeah, I reckon we will.
It could be a bumper episode. Strap yourselves in, Pilgrims.
There's 36 holes from yourself and 18 holes from me. So it's there's going to be a bit of golf around.
It could be a 3-hour episode, shot by shot.
Strap yourselves in, Pilgrims.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that's excellent news, Andy Walker. I think you and I have both got a lot to do between now and the weekend. So I'm going to do some double glove putting practice now and just see how that works out. And I'll keep you posted.
All right. Well, yeah, good luck. Keep me in the loop as to how things go, and we'll have a debrief.
We will. We'll dive into it very, very deeply, and hopefully there'll be some good news to share about performances, or at the very least some lessons to learn, which is, I suppose, pretty much just as good, just a different flavour of good. But Andy Walker, whilst I do that prep, have you got any other words of wisdom and any other thoughts on some things that I should consider doing, or the Pilgrims could consider doing in preparation for the weekend?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, while we are talking about adverse weather conditions and health and fitness and all the rest, and look, I have been getting into the mindfulness and connected breathing, and that's all well and good, and I love doing that process. But yeah, there is another essential process that I think you can't ignore.
Okay. And that is?
Rock out, Pilgrims.
Thanks for listening to us today. We love hearing from our Pilgrims, so please reach out to us through any of the links in the show notes. We know golf is hard, so we hope we can help you shoot better scores and inspire you to keep trying. Rock on, Pilgrims.